Amidst the global tension and the crisis that looms or has been looming between America and Russia, Iran, there is a video that is going on that is circulating the internet that has gone viral, where Iran publicly declares to the black Americans that they are not their enemies. And this video seeks to address the subject matter. Credit to the original content creators. Let us dive right into the video.
Iran and Iran's allies, any potential defense mechanisms that happen, I just want to remind you guys that the Native Americans have been fighting against this regime for almost 250 years with this empire. Long before, almost, since late 1400s when they found Columbus lost at sea. So we've been fighting for a long time for our sovereignty, land, language, and our traditional ways of life to be implemented into this European English system created over the sovereign and sacred lands of Native Americans, brown, melanin, black colored skinned people. Not white. So I just wanted to throw this out there to any of their allies that a lot of us, even here in Alaska, natives have been attempting to stand up to be equal counterparts of these white people, these elite white people that came and did all this evil stuff to us. So we've been doing that for a long time, trying to fight the very system you guys hate too. Trust me, us natives, we hate it too. We just learned how to accept it and live amongst these evil people, practicing our spirituality the best we can, practicing our hunting, gathering, and fishing the best we can. So just know that we've been an oppressed, enslaved people for centuries. And we, the sovereign, chosen ones, the native ones, the brown-skinned, melanin-colored ones that were here long before they built the system and borders. I'm just throwing it out there. Us brown skin, the ones that are awake right now, yeah, we've been trying to come up against them. We've been trying to expose the things that they've been doing to our children. Yep. It happened. My children were in the Office of Children's Services, and they got more abused there than they did had they been with me. They probably would have been hurt, who knows, because of my addiction and alcoholism. But that was a disease created by the system itself, because alcohol was introduced to our people. And so was drugs. That wasn't our culture. That wasn't our identity. Nope. Remember who you are. And I'm so thankful to know in my heart of hearts and in my soul and my encounter with my creator that I am on the right side of history. Woo woo.
Iran put a picture of Tupac on the nose of a drone, and I think it's a better time than ever to analyze why. From Lego Malcolm X to a mural of Nipsey Hussle, Iran has been sending clear messages to marginalized American communities throughout the entire conflict. And if you ask me, it's a way more effective way to get the messaging out than like putting the info out and hoping that the oil investing billionaires that own the American media report on it. But why? If you ask me, it has everything to do with how things run in America. The dual labor market theory is the idea that it's really not just all about competition and free market capitalism. The nature of the free market creates two categories. The primary market, which is the stable, well-paying jobs with benefits, so think corporate and medical professionals, skilled trades, union workers, etc., as well as a secondary market of unstable, low-wage jobs like fast food, domestic work, gig work, and believe it or not, content creation. And when we add the layers of American racism, sexism, and overall homophobia, this is not the rule, but the trend is that you will see more marginalized groups like black people in the secondary American economy than the primary, which is where, in my head, it makes sense that the propaganda aimed to be spread on social media, a space that exists in the secondary economy, is being themed and crafted to catch the attention of black people in America. And it's no secret that black Americans and Americans of color are the cultural engine of this country. There's a reason you don't hear about doctors or bankers coming out with the latest fashion trends or dances. It's not their job in society, but more importantly, it's also not their role in American culture. Most American news outlets are just as compromised as the average viewer, and that's by design, as it's typically messaging from the top 1% of the primary market in America. It's why TikTok is still such an issue as a competitor in that space. The content on this app doesn't always come from the controlled narrative of a billionaire or the primary market. A lot of times, it comes from a content creator doing research, working out of that secondary market. That's a huge problem for an American empire that wants to control the narrative around a war only the top 1% of the primary market really benefits from. Enter Lego Malcolm X getting ready to press the button from a missile site.
A letter from Iran's president sent to the people of the United States. To the people of the United States and to all those who, amid a flood of distortions and manufactured narratives, continue to seek the truth and aspire to a better life. Iran, by this very name, character, and identity, is one of the oldest continuous civilizations in human history. Despite its historical and geographical advantages at various times, Iran has never in its modern history chosen the path of aggression, expansion, colonialism, or domination. Even after enduring occupation, invasion, and sustained pressure from global powers, and despite possessing military superiority over many of its neighbors, Iran has never initiated a war. Yet it has resolutely and bravely repelled those who have attacked it. The Iranian people harbor no enmity toward other nations, including the people of America, Europe, or neighboring countries. Even in the face of repeated foreign interventions and pressure throughout their proud history, Iranians have consistently drawn a clear distinction between governments and the people they govern. This is a deeply rooted principle in Iranian culture and collective consciousness, not a temporary political stance. For this reason, portraying Iran as a threat is neither consistent with historical reality nor with present-day observable facts. Such a perception is the product of political and economic whims of the powerful. The need to manufacture an enemy in order to justify pressure, maintain military dominance, sustain the arms industry, and control strategic markets. In such an environment, if a threat does not exist, it is invented. Within this same framework, the United States has concentrated the largest number of its forces, bases, and military capabilities around Iran, a country that, at least since the founding of the United States, has never initiated a war. Recent American aggressions launched from these very bases have demonstrated how threatening such a military presence truly is. Naturally, no country confronted with such conditions would forego strengthening its defensive capabilities. What Iran has done and continues to do is a measured response grounded in legitimate self-defense and by no means an initiation of war or aggression. Relations between Iran and the United States were not originally hostile, and early interactions between the Iranian and American people were not married in hostility or tension. The turning point, however, was the 1953 coup d'etat, an illegal American intervention aimed at preventing the nationalization of Iran's own resources. That coup disrupted Iran's democratic processes, reinstated dictatorship, and sowed deep distrust among Iranians toward American policies. This distrust deepened further with America's support of the Shah's regime, its backing of Saddam Hussein during the imposed war of the 1980s, and the imposition of the longest and most comprehensive sanctions in modern history, and ultimately unprovoked military aggression twice in the midst of negotiations against Iran. Yet all of these pressures have failed to weaken Iran. On the contrary, the country has grown stronger in many areas. Literacy rates have tripled from roughly 30% before the Islamic Revolution to over 90% today. Higher education has expanded dramatically. Significant advances have been achieved in modern technology. Healthcare services have improved, and infrastructure has developed at a pace and scale incomparable in the past. These are measurable, observable realities that stand independent of fabricated narratives. At the same time, the destructive and inhumane impact of sanctions, war, and aggression on the lives of the resilient Iranian people must not be underestimated. The continuation of military aggression and recent bombings profoundly affect people's lives, attitudes, and perspectives. This reflects a fundamental human truth. When war inflicts irreparable harm on lives, homes, cities, and futures, people will not remain indifferent toward those responsible. This raises a fundamental question. Exactly which of the American people's interests are truly being served in this war? Was there any objective threat from Iran to justify such behavior? Does the massacre of innocent children, the destruction of cancer treatment pharmaceutical facilities, or boasting about bombing a country back to the Stone Ages serve any purpose other than further damaging the United States' global standing? Iran pursued negotiations, reached an agreement, and fulfilled all of its commitments. The decision to withdraw from that agreement escalated toward confrontation and launched 2 acts of aggression in the midst of negotiations, were destructive choices made by the U.S. government, choices that served the delusion of a foreign aggressor. Attacking Iran's vital infrastructure, including energy and industrial facilities, directly targets the Iranian people. Beyond constituting a war crime, such actions carry consequences that extend far beyond Iran's borders. They generate instability, increase human and economic costs, and perpetuate cycles of tension, planting seeds of resentment that will endure for years. This is not a demonstration of strength. It is a sign of strategic bewilderment and an inability to achieve a sustainable solution. Is it not also the case that America has entered this aggression as a proxy for Israel, influenced and manipulated by that regime? Is it not true that Israel, by manufacturing an Iranian threat, seeks to divert global attention away from its crimes toward the Palestinians? Is it not evident that Israel now aims to fight Iran to the last American soldier and the last American taxpayer dollar, shifting the burden of its delusions onto Iran, the region, and the United States itself in pursuit of illegitimate interests? Is America first truly among the priorities of the U.S. government today? I invite you to look beyond the machinery of misinformation, an integral part of this aggression, and instead speak with those who have visited Iran. Observe the many accomplished Iranian immigrants educated in Iran who now teach and conduct research at the world's most prestigious universities or contribute to the most advanced technology firms in the West. Do these realities align with the distortion you are being told about Iran and its people? Today, the world stands at a crossroads. Continuing along the path of confrontation is more costly and more futile than ever before. The choice between confrontation and engagement is both real and consequential. Its outcome will shape the future for generations to come. Throughout its millennia of proud history, Iran has outlasted many aggressors. All that remains of them are tarnished names in history, while Iran endures, resilient, dignified, and proud. That's one of the best written letters I have ever read. None of these people asked for this. They weren't aggressive. They were happily complying with the agreement that they made with us. We pulled out of that for no apparent reason. And then we tried to enter into another one with them, and they were agreeing. They were complying. They were agreeing to our terms. And then we just bombed them for no reason, unprovoked. There isn't a way to say that America first is truly among the priorities of the U.S. government today. America gets nothing out of this. We are hurting and killing people for no reason.
So welcome back, guys. You may have seen my video. The question still remains, are these information circulating on the online space, social media, are they actually verified informations and they are true? And if they are true, how are they affecting the human perception and those who are involved in the current conflict between the power brokers within the region? Is it about geopolitical control? Is it about resource control? Or is it about determining the fate of a people? Is it about taking war to a people who have not shown any form of aggression to the United States of America? So this discourse goes on, and the contemplation is, what is really the thrust of the matter? So we'll be going right into the comment section, and the conversation will be going on right there. I want to know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section. And if you're coming into my YouTube channel for the first time, you're welcome to my handle. Please hit that subscription button, hit that notification button, so that whenever we bring up new and exciting content, you'll be first to be notified. Thank you, and credits to the original content creators for the video shared in this channel. See you on the next one.